Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. There was enough going on today that I felt the need to shoot a second video. Well, second long video. Let's start off with some good stuff. Citibank has partnered with Wellington Management and WisdomTree to tokenize stocks, to issue stocks over a blockchain. You want to know whose blockchain? Avalanche. That's right, Avalanche. That's a very big deal. So I'm expecting Avalanche to freaking skyrocket when more people hear about this. That's what I'm expecting. So if you're paying attention, you might want to do your own research and get into that. Just figure it all out, because I don't give financial advice. I'm going to skip the next topic because I want to save that for last, because I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. It involves Gary Gensler. You should stick around. That one's going to be juicy. Uniswap founder Hayden Adams says that there's a new scam going on using a fake ENS address, Ethereum Name Service address, that is supposedly tied to him. It's not. So if you see something like that, run. Just saying. Charles Hoskinson of Input Output, main developers of Cardano, announced that the release of Cardano's Plutus version 3 is now up for testing on their SanchoNet. That's actually going to be really cool. Standard operating procedures and everything. I think it's going to be really cool. Advanced cryptographic capabilities, efficiency upgrades to broaden blockchain applications. All of that is awesome. I want you to start paying attention to Cardano a little bit more. Right? They don't have the issues that other platforms have had. They don't make a move until it's actually correct. All right. So you should really pay attention to that. Something else that I'm paying attention to. A while ago, it was said that crypto, specifically Bitcoin, was used to fund Hamas. And the U.S. Treasury Undersecretary just debunked that, saying that crypto represented a very small percentage. So I want you to let that wash over you. People are holding on to that, saying, oh, crypto's bad, crypto's bad. And here are the facts coming out by the source. That is, in and of itself, a huge thing. Huge thing. Now you know why I pay attention to all of these tiny little things and try to build my picture of what I see. Because you start to realize that, things aren't always what they see. You need to gather all of the evidence, put it all together, figure it out. Now, here's the last one. Gary Gensler was on at 8 a.m. It was after I shot my first video. He was on at 8 a.m. on CNBC and sounded like a freaking idiot. He sounded so much like an idiot that co-host Joe Kernan had to go after him when he said Bitcoin was useless. Dude, what? You taught at, MIT about how good Bitcoin is, how good blockchain is, and now you're saying it's useless. Let me go on the record again. The young man truly needs to go find another job. He needs to shut up, take a seat, and really just go find another job. This whole 180 that he's done when it comes to crypto, specifically blockchain, Bitcoin, it's maddening. Now, I know I've said all that before, but if you just go back and watch the clips, it's not pretty. It's absolutely not pretty. And really give it some thought, right? This is a man who taught about blockchain and specifically Bitcoin. That's a very big deal. So I just can't understand why he would go on television and say, oh, it's useless. Oh, it's useless. And yet you've deemed it to not be a security. And you've issued OKs for spot Bitcoin ETFs. To which he says, well, that's not saying we endorse, Bitcoin. Okay, I can even accept that. Then why are you talking about it? He was on there saying that the SEC is there to evaluate. Well, good, you evaluated. Now go away and shut up. You should have no other opinion other than we approve that. Done. We approved it, moving on. If that's what you say your job is, then that's all it should be. How am I wrong? How am I wrong? And it's full of fraud and everything else. The U.S. Treasury Undersecretary debunks crypto funding claims. Dude, when you wake up in the morning and you look at the newspapers, right? And you see how money is moving, in the underworld, right? It's money. It's fiat. You're pointing at crypto to say it's crypto when you know fully well crypto represents a small percentage of the money that's being used for illicit activity. Really? Enough said. Dude, shut up. Go get another job. Go work for your brother or something. Go flip burgers. I really don't care what you do. Just go away. I'm not saying that, illicit things don't happen with crypto. I just hate it when people say that it's so, out there. It's so prevalent. It's not. It's not. Not when you have Citibank partnering with Wellington Management and WisdomTree to tokenize stock issuance, to tokenize securities as a real deal thing. I'm just saying, you get to a point where I'm just looking for a name right now. You just get to a point where, is it possible for you to say something factual? Right? Say something factual. The other one, if you're just there to evaluate, then why can't you evaluate the Ethereum spot ETFs? Which leads me to what Kathy Wood was saying, that, hey, it's probably only going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum that get spot ETFs. She has a really good point. She has a really good point. Like, really, really good. Now, the reason why I told you to pay attention to Cardano, you should actually be paying attention to Cardano, like the network, Solana, Polygon, Chainlink. You should be paying attention to a lot of different coins that are out there that have known use cases, high market cap, high trading volume. Why? Because that trading volume means that they're doing things. People are doing things. I caught wind that Shiba Inu is also being looked at by institutions. So the reason why I tell you to do that is because in a single day, and I said this yesterday, in a single day, $500,000, over half a billion dollars was the inflow for BlackRock for their Bitcoin spot ETF. Boom. Just like that. Just like that. When I tell you that Bitcoin is not going to be used in the way that people think it's going to be used, I really hope you pay attention. People are out there, and I agree with, trying to build things on the blockchain. That's great. That's awesome. I just don't know that it should be Bitcoin. I just don't know that Bitcoin is going to have enough in circulation to be able to do all that. I'm not putting down the projects that are doing the work. They're doing great work, right? I just question if they should be using Bitcoin, given the power, the buying power of all of these traditional financial institutions. Now, obviously, you can break everything up into sats and you can still make things work. But this is also why I keep saying it's not going to be a single crypto that's going to take over and rule the world. It's going to be several. It is going to be several. Look at the news that Walmart is working with VeChain, Avalanche is working with Citi, Polygon was involved with that whole thing a while ago with DBS doing DeFi transfers. Excuse me, that involved JP Morgan too. We should be paying attention to all of that because it's not going to be one coin. And I don't think it's going to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin has huge uses, but for something else. It's going to be a store of value, which means that people are going to collect it and they're not going to sell it. They'll leverage it as collateral to go get other money, just like people leverage stocks. That's what I think is going to happen. When that's going to happen, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I really do think that's what's going to happen. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for Grow My Bag TV. I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, drop me a note. I love hearing from you guys. I do need a favor, though. I need a little favor. When you drop me a note, I only see your handle. And sometimes I like calling people out that bring points up. So let me know what we should call you. You know, give me a little pronunciation of your screen name or tell me what your name is so that when I say, oh, so-and-so told me about, right? Like Kid Rolla was telling me that he can't buy into Shiba Inu because he thinks it's not decentralized enough. And I said, well, when you look at those calculations, when you look at all the metrics, are you counting Vitalik Buterin's, old discarded wallet? Because that's the burn address, right? So are you looking at that one? Because that one holds 41%. So if you're holding that one, then yeah. But you shouldn't be counting that in those numbers. That's a burner wallet. Nobody's got access to it anymore. It's done. So when something gets sent there, it's done. It's off. It's gone. Never to be seen again. So I like calling people out that bring things to my attention. Right, wrong, teaching me something, asking me something. Somebody asked me about something the other day, and I was like, yeah, nah, it's not even on my radar. I think it was quantum, QTUM. Not even close to being on my radar. When I looked at them, I couldn't really get an idea about what they're actually doing. It just seemed like a generic kind of thing, and I was kind of like, no, not on my radar yet. Maybe if I see something else and I hear about the community, blah 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 blah. Maybe hit certain parameters that I have to start doing research, and then I'll do some research on them. But right now, yeah, no, they're not on my radar yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens as they grow up, move up a little bit. All right. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for Grow My Bag TV. If you have ideas, remember what I said about critiques and criticism. If you have ideas about how I can make things better, please let me know. I like to know things. So let me see if I can, make everything better. Anyway, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.